Hey guys, so I'm going to be showing you how to install a step-by-step install with our melting spray. So right now I'm going to be using Got2b glue gel. I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger and I'm going to start by spraying it on her edges. I already braided her down before the video started. You just want to braid at least maybe 8 to 10 braids to the back, depending on how thick your hair is. So right now I'm going across her hairline with the gel all the way across. You want to make sure you get all edges. You don't want any edges left out. Right now I'm going to be taking my rat tail comb and I'm combing it back smoothly so that no hair is left behind, all the way across her hairline. Really good. Right now, I'm going to be taking oil to oil her scalp so that it won't be dry before I put the cap on. And I'm oiling between each braiding part all the way to the back. Rubbing it back with my fingers. This part is very simple and you can use any kind of oil you like. You can use our growth oil, you can use the stimulating oil, whichever you prefer. Very neatly, as you can see. Now I'm getting ready to grab our nude cap. The pack comes with two in each pack, 2 caps in each pack. I'm just stretching it out, showing you how stretchy or right now I'm putting it on her head. As you can see, it blends very good. I'm stretching it out, and on each side I like to cut around the ear because it helps it lay flatter, in my opinion. And I recommend, if you're going to do this part, to cut downwards, because if you cut up, you might cut it too far up and it'll start showing the braid. So I would say cut downwards maybe twice. You don't need a really, really big hole. And I'm doing the same on the other side, cutting downwards and putting it around her ear. On each side, as you can see, it lays flatter and it's easier to cut that way as well. Now I'm taking the Got2b freezing spray and I'm going to spray right along her hairline very neatly. You don't want to rush this part because you don't want the spray dripping all over her face. Sometimes that happens. If it does, it's fine. Right across her hairline all the way to the other side. And I like to spray and kind of rub so that I know it's getting attached to her hairline. And sometimes I spray a little bit above her hairline as well. Really good. That's good. Next, I'm going to be taking a blow dryer and I'm going to blow dry on cool just because it dries faster than hot. Because it's freezing spray, so you want to dry it on cool or cold air. And that should take no more than 10 minutes, to be honest. It dries really fast. Usually I put my clients under the dryer, but I'm at home during this quarantine. I think that's how you pronounce it. So I'm at home. So right now, I'm going to cut the lace. You always want to cut in the middle just because it's easier and you don't want to cut around the ear to make it lift faster. So right now, I'm cutting, going across the right side. You want to take your time with this part because you don't want to cut fast and then you end up cutting showing the hairline. So you just want to take your time and cut across really neatly. And plus you don't want all those straggly pieces just hanging, because once you get ready to mold it, it will show and it won't look as neat. So I'm cutting across very neatly. Take your time. And I'm going to do the same on the left side. You guys can watch this part. I won't do too much talking. So right now I'm just going in, cutting those little straggly pieces. Make it look a little neater. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want it to be neat. Right now I'm just cutting the back of the cap that's hanging off just a little bit. And we're all set for the cap. Now I'm going to be going in with some more Got2b glue. I'm putting that on the edge of the cap by her hairline. Just a little bit, just to lay it back down more. See, it looks a little bit more clear. Just so when you put the melting spray on, it won't lift. So right now we're going to take the end of that comb and we're going to press it down. We still have the dryer on cool air. We're going to press down on the edge and dry as we press, just to lay it more. Still pressing. I'm gonna let you guys watch this part, not too much talking. As you can see, that side looks more blended versus the other side. And now we're going to move on to the right side. Do the same thing. Press down with the comb. You want to put a little bit of pressure while you're pressing down, just to help it blend better. So right now I'm going to take the 91% alcohol. You want to use a little piece of paper towel, and you see that shiny part around her forehead. You just want to wipe that part off. Right along the forehead hairline. Very gently. You don't want to rub too hard. Make the skin burn. And then you want to use a powdered foundation closest to the client's skin complexion, and just go right along the front of that cap. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as it's close enough to the complexion. Just so that when you put the wig on, it looks more like a scalp versus that sheer look. So I wanted to go back in with a little bit of Gots to Be glue gel just to blend it better with that little line going across her forehead. So I'm just going in with a little bit more. And still drying it on cool air. And then I'm going to do the other side the same way. Gonna let you guys just watch this part, not too much talking. And throughout the video, you can speed up parts like these where I'm not pretty much talking. I didn't want to make this a speed up video because I wanted you guys to pretty much catch everything that I'm doing step by step. So right now, I already tinted the wig with the lace spray. And then I put the powdered foundation on as well. So here's a tip that I like to do. I like to spray the melting spray along the hairline inside the wig. Right along that hairline inside the wig. Let that sit for a little bit. Then I like to spray it across her hairline. Right along from ear to ear. You don't want to spray too much. You really don't need to spray too much. Very little. And then I like to take the blow dryer, spray it inside the wig, maybe for 2 minutes, to be honest. You want to spray it for it to get sticky. You don't want to spray it completely dry. As soon as you feel stickiness, like a little stickiness and wet at the same time, then it's time to put the wig on. So I sprayed that a little bit. You see me touching it to see if it's a little sticky. And then after that, I grab the wig. It's still wet and sticky, so you don't want it to be completely dry. Grab the wig, put the wig on right where I sprayed it at. I'm going to have her grab that side. As soon as I put it on, just like that. And then I'm going to grab my lace band. Well, I'm going to comb it back first. Just so once you put the lace band on, them hairs won't be like all over the place, and that kind of makes it difficult sometimes. So comb it back. And if you're doing it yourself, just make sure when you put it on to tie the lace band in the back so it stays in place. So now I'm getting my lace band. It was just our lace band, honestly, that I cut in half. And then I'm going to tie it really tight. Lace band from Wig Dealer. You can purchase on the site. I'm tying it really tight in the back just so that the wig stays. So right now, I just grabbed my blow dryer. I still have it on cool air. I'm going to dry it for a couple of minutes to make sure that the wig is set in place. Right now, I'm just making sure the band is covering all parts of the hairline and the wig. And like I said, while you're doing this at home, just in case no one is around, you just want to make sure once you put the wig on, tie the bands in the back and place the wig in place to the hairline so that when you tie the band on, the wig is in place. So we dried it for a couple of minutes. I think honestly no more than 8 minutes. So now we're taking it off. so that we can get started on these baby hairs. As you can see, the wig is in place, intact. So right now I'm just combing down the baby hairs. Spraying that melting spray inside the wig across that hairline, it really helps. I promise you, when you try it, you will be amazed. So right now I'm just spraying a little on a piece that I want to melt more. Just for a couple of seconds. If you hear that loud noise in the back, I'm sorry, it's raining like really hard. So right now I'm just taking a little bit more melting spray, putting it right at the edge by her ear. And I'm combing down those baby hairs, seeing if I need to cut any long strings. Yep, there's one piece. So I asked her if she wanted a middle or a side part. She didn't really care. So I'm going to do a side part. And this is one of our old wigs from our old collection of beginner's wigs. So you can't do a deep side part on this wig. So I just parted it right there. And now I'm going to go back into my Got2b glue gel and start to lay these baby hairs. Usually when I'm laying a wig and I'm using glue, I'd use our mousse. But today I'm going to use the Got2b glue gel because it helps it lay without lifting it, because you did use melting spray. And honestly, with the melting spray, water lifts it really easily. So I prefer not to use mousse. I prefer to use the Got2b glue gel just so it won't lift as I'm laying those baby hairs. So I'm going to lay them on each side really neatly. And you can do your baby hairs however you like. You can do them dramatic, you can do them lightly, whichever you prefer. Moving on to the other side. And I like to put like a good amount on my finger just so I can just keep going across on each part I'm about to do, so I don't have to keep going back into the gel tube. That helps as well. Just laying them down. I'm just cutting that little piece off. Okay, so we are all set with those baby hairs. Now I am going with my foam and I'm going to put it right behind those baby hairs. I'm not going to use too much of it. Going across those baby hairs just so that when I put that band on, it's kind of smoothed back a little bit. And then I'm putting it where the part is just so that the part can lay a little bit more flat. And you can actually see the part. So right now I'm going to take the comb it back gently. With this part, you want to try to move a little fast. Like I said, you use the melting spray so you don't want it to lift. But as long as you don't use too much of it, you'll be fine. So I'm combing it back. And now I'm going to tie the band on it to lay it really good. You want to push that hair behind your ear, tie it really good. Make sure it's on there good. And the wig was already kind of wet because I washed it. So I'm just going over it with foam. The foam helps the wig keep that wet look all day. If your wig is not already wet, you can use water and leave-in conditioner in a spray bottle. Spray it all over the wig. Brush through it really good. You want to make sure you're using a wig brush. See, look how pretty those curls look. So now I'm going to have her shake her hair just so those curls won't be like attached and it could look more fuller. I always like to shake after I brush. So now I'm going to take the blow dryer and blow dry the front of her hair. This is going to take a minute. Usually this part I have my client sit under the dryer for about 15 minutes. But like I said, I'm at home. So I kind of sped that part up because it was going to take a minute. Now I'm going to get ready to take it off. Like I said, I use a blow dryer this time so it's not completely dry. So at home, you just want to, I would say maybe 25 minutes to let it sit. If you have a dryer at home, like a dryer you can sit under, 15 minutes is good enough, but I did it by hand. So if it's not completely dry, you can always go back in and kind of touch up those baby hairs with the Got2b glue gel. which I'm about to do in a second. So yeah, we just gonna touch them up. Well, first we gonna get our alcohol and paper towel, but it looks really good. We're gonna get our alcohol, paper towel, wipe off those white parts from the gel. I wouldn't use water to clean it up, always alcohol, because it gets it really good. See, no more white spots. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of more of my gel, just to touch up those little pieces that lifted as I was taking the band off. That little piece. Looks really neat. So now I'm going to go in with a concealer brush and use that foundation closest to her skin complexion. And I'm just going to go in with it on the parting area just to make it look more noticeable. See, as you can see, it's starting to pop out. And it looks more neater as well. So I'm just getting those little straggly pieces that's kind of stuck to her skin. You can just pull those little pieces off. As you can see, it turned out really neat and pretty. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was very helpful. I tried to do it step by step as best as I could. Look how pretty it is. Those baby hairs are laid. It looks really neat. It's pretty. So I hope this video was really helpful for you guys. I hope when you try it, you can come back to this video. I'm going to post it on my Instagram. And you guys can put in the comments how helpful it was. Thank you for watching. Bye.